Update Ada for asking my BF to cut ties with his female best friend. Hello everyone. This is an update to my first post. For asking my BF to cut ties with his female, I want to thank everyone for all the comments. I didn't expect to receive that much messages. I tried to read all of them. I noticed people were really split, with many NTA, YTA, and ESH. I recognize it was bad that I told Thomas that I wanted him to cut ties with Marie, and I regret it. But I'm glad people also understand why I'm uncomfortable with Thomas and Marie relationship. I don't have a big update because I didn't have the occasion to talk to Thomas, but I decided to write an update to clarify some things. So I will do that, and at the end I will add a small update. The timeline. I started dating Thomas when he wasn't talking to Marie anymore. They stopped talking for over a year when I confessed to him. I thought they were really over, and Thomas thought the same. I didn't expect her to come back into our life. Breaking up, many people told me to break up like it's an easy decision. I love him, and I know he loves me. Except for that, we're great together, and we never argue. Like some people noticed, I've been in love with Thomas for a long time before we started dating. I waited for the right time to confess for many reasons, and one of them was Marie. Even if she's back now and I don't like it, it's not so easy to walk away from the best relationship I ever had. Marriage. Thomas and I talked about getting married someday. I told him at the beginning of the relationship it was something I wanted, and he said he wanted too, but he didn't want to rush even though we know each other for a long time. We even talked about getting engaged after dating 3 years because it was a good timeline, and he agreed. The threesomes. Thomas and Marie had sex with the same guy at the same time in front of each other, but Thomas said he didn't have sex with her. He said they were both focused on the guy. It happened before she moved to her new city, and it happened twice. I also know Marie had threesomes with her husband and other guys before she got married. Trust. I do trust Thomas, and I don't think he will cheat on me, but I don't trust her, and it makes me uncomfortable to imagine them spending a whole weekend together without me, because I don't want her to try something. His brother Thomas said I had a problem with people he loves because he's really close with his older brother, and his older brother doesn't like me. I know it's something that makes him sad. About Marie. Some people didn't understand why I don't like Marie or why I don't trust her about my BF. I even saw someone said I invented the threesomes to justify why I don't like her. That's not it at all. At first, I didn't want to add that detail because it makes it easier for people who know me or Thomas to recognize us, and I wanted to avoid that. Then I added it because I wanted people to understand that Thomas and Marie don't have a normal friendship, because most people don't have a threesome with their best friend. I know people can have casual sex, and it doesn't mean anything. I never did that, but I can understand. It's not the main reason why I'm uncomfortable with Marie. I used to know her when she lived in our city. I saw her and how she acted with Thomas. Back then, he acted different when he was with her. They were always together, and she acted like they had a special relationship other people couldn't understand. Thomas was less open with me or mutual friends. He didn't have time anymore for his other friends. He acted like he was an extension of her in some ways. She was making all of decisions. They were only doing stuff she likes. Their relationship seemed toxic to us, and I wasn't the only one not to like Marie because of that. I only learned about the threesomes Thomas and Marie did after I started dating Thomas, because we had a discussion about our ex-relationships and he admitted it. It's something they kept secret. Before that, I had no idea they did something like that, so it's not why I didn't like Marie. But it's definitely one of the reasons I'm uncomfortable with their friendship now, especially if she invites him to spend a weekend with her and her husband. Small update. Yesterday I called Thomas. He didn't answer, so I texted him multiple times, and he told me he was still angry and asked me to leave him alone for the day. I respected his wishes. I spent the afternoon trying to catch up on all the comments on my first post. More and more people convinced me that her plans for NY were suspicious, and Marie was probably trying to have another threesome with her husband and Thomas. So I messaged her we're still FB friends so I can contact her on Messenger to ask if we could talk. She was like, yeah, what's up, when I'm sure she knows about my arguments with Thomas. So I asked right away why she didn't invite me too for NY. She said Thomas told me you had other plans, and I told her it's weird to only invite one person when this person is in a serious relationship. And she didn't reply, so I asked, are you trying to have S with Thomas? She said, what, are you crazy? I'm married, so I told her I know you already had threesomes with your husband, so I don't see how it's stopping you. Then she said, wait, he told you? I said, yes. And she said, I can't believe he told you that. And she stopped answering my messages after that. So I was really mad after that. I tried to call Thomas again, but he didn't answer, and I went to bed crying. But I had an awful night. I missed him a lot, and I just wanted him to come home. This morning, Thomas called me. He was angry that I messaged Marie to ask her if she wanted to have S with him. I said I didn't want to talk about it on the phone and I wanted to see him to have a calm discussion. He said he will come home in the afternoon after lunch with his family, but he didn't want to argue anymore. And I said I didn't want to argue either. So now I'm waiting for him to come home. I'm really stressed about our talk, so I'm keeping all the advices that were given to me. I really don't want to break up with him, and I hope he will understand how I feel.